What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Mikey today at night, coming at you through this thing we call the internet. And there's something that I don't think I ever discussed fully. I think I wasn't sure how to explain my decision making at the time. Um, but at one point, I changed the channel name and everything. I changed the identity and everything. It was the branding. The branding had to be changed. And I don't think I went into great detail as to why. And I just kind I hate my neighborhood. Anyhow, I I I don't think I ever discussed why. And I kind of wanted to go over that. But I think the main reason was is that I had a lot of people that wouldn't take my opinions or anything seriously, or they would twist it around. And I would get comments like, "You're really living up to your name there, aren't you? How can anybody take you seriously?" And basically things of that nature. That's part of why I rebranded. That's why I dropped the goof name. I was tired of it. It wasn't working for me anymore. I mean, I don't think it worked a whole lot to begin with. It worked barely for like the first year. And then over time it just became a hindrance. So that's why eventually I made that decision where I was like, I want to change my name. I wasn't sure. I had thought about it for a long time, you know, changing the channel, the rebranding everything. And then I wasn't sure for a long time what name to go with. It wasn't until Rich, temporarily, unfortunately, had the name over on his channel, which he's back to Review Tech USA, and he calls it Review Tech USA 2, which, huh? Anyhow, um, he had a channel name called Rich Tomorrow. And then I got to thinking about that. And then I wanted to spoof the name a little bit, but I didn't want to be like direct about it. Like, I didn't want to. It would be kind of lazy if I just called myself Mikey Tomorrow. That would be stupid. So tried to be clever with it, and I went with Mikey Today. That's how I got the name. But I wanted something. I wanted my actual name. That's number one. Like, I use my actual name anyways, you know. So that's how the name came about. But I got ridiculed a lot. I got made fun of a lot having the name The Goof, you know. And then there's the fact that when you call something a goof, depending on where you're from, it means different things. A goof could mean somebody who's silly, and that's what I went through my head with, somebody who's goofy. But then there's people who use the term goof to mean other things depending on where you're from. Like, the goof could be a mistake. The goof. And there was a lot of people who would come in accusing me of that. Or, that's the name. Oh, you're the mistake. Oh, yeah, thanks, asshole. Then there's the other. What is the other one? It's also used for like a prank. So, oh, you're a prankster? Is that why you got that name? No, no, it's because early on I was just trying to be silly and have fun. I was goofy. I was energetic. I had a lot of energy. I was. If you go back at one point in time, I was silly. I was cracking tons of jokes. I was energetic. I would yell about crazy stuff and things of that nature. But it just quickly became more of a hindrance. And I was tired of it. I was tired of the ridicule. I was tired of people who didn't take anything I said seriously or who would fire back at it and weaponize the name. I was tired of it. So it was time for that name to go. And that's the whole reason why I never really spoke a whole lot about it. I mean, part of it is just like I knew it could still be weaponized somehow, and I just didn't want to go into it. I just wanted to leave it in the past. But sometimes it's better to explain things, you know? Sometimes it's better to just go, okay, well, here's A, B, C, D, reasons as to why the name was changed and why I'm who I am now. And I just kind of felt like I owed people an explanation. And it literally just come down to I'm tired of people insulting me with it. I'm tired of it being weaponized against me. I'm tired of people misunderstanding the name. I'm tired of it. And I want to use my own name, my actual name. So it was around that time when Rich decided on calling himself Rich Tomorrow, which, by the way, I think is a much better name than Review Tech USA, because his channel's a hodgepodge of things. Like, it just kind of worked being a hodgepodge of things. Review Tech USA sounds like a channel that focuses on tech. He doesn't focus completely on tech. He's doing whatever the hell he feels like. So it's better to have a name that reflects that, And a channel named like Rich Tomorrow, it worked, and his reasoning for going with that name worked. It all made sense, and then he threw it out. And it's not even the same anymore. I'll also mention that. I want to touch on that for a second. Rich, if you watch this, I don't know if you do. I don't know. It's not the same. Like, you built up so much content. I mean, you were still doing sexy cocoa bits. Sounds weird. Sounds like cereal, but you know what I mean. Sexy cereal. No, you were still doing those. You were still doing the gags and stuff with Sexy Coco. You had sketches. You had these random videos. There was one I remembered where you were mocking these guys who thought they were going to overtake your channel in numbers or whatever or not. All I can remember was like the last joke on that video, dude, where you were like, "Man, my dick is huge." And I don't know, that was hilarious. I don't think you're watching this shit, but I'm just kind of explaining it to you. That's all in the past. You can't do any of this stuff anymore that you used to do. I mean, you could. You could ignore the idiots who call you a culture vulture and all that shit. You could ignore them, right? You could ignore the heck out of them and just, do what you want. But so far, it's just not the same. It feels like you just didn't like getting rid of the name and you just wanted to go back to it. But I just feel like it made more sense. I'm never going back to the goof. It's never happening. I don't regret the name change. I don't regret the rebranding. I don't regret it. I like the name I have now. It works. It's whatever I'm going to do today, or in this case, night, because it's after 1 in the morning. I got woke up by this retarded, drunk, God, what is he? Drunk or crackhead where I live, driving around booming his subwoofer in a truck that doesn't belong to him. He woke me up. I had just fell asleep real good. I was sleeping good. It felt so good, and then I wake up feeling like I'm having a heart attack. So that's why I'm awake. I hate living here. I wish the YouTube thing had blew up enough that I could afford to move. That was something I was hoping for. And it didn't blow up. It didn't work. I have next to no damn personality, I guess. I'm boring as hell. And that's why my channel's not. Well, that and I'm not consistent enough. I'm not constantly just uploading stuff. I don't feel motivated all the time. I do what I feel like doing when I feel like doing it. And it's because of that my channel, I feel like, never got anywhere. That, and I'm boring. I'm very boring. I'm still trying, but I'm boring. That and the crash outs didn't help, I really feel. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all this was about, really. That's it. You know. And so if anybody out there thinks that I'll ever go back to that name, I will not. I'm over that name. That's part of the past. I didn't like it. Finding a branding is really hard on this platform because it feels like just anyone can come up and snatch it away from you. That was the other thing. That was the one other thing, by the way. There were When I made the channel, I searched channels early on. I searched for other channels. There were no channels called the Goof. I made my channel, and then there all of a sudden a few years later, and there's rows of the Goofs, just rows of channels called the Goof. And I'm worried actually if I check right now to see if I'm the only Mikey today, that there's other Mikeys today. YouTube really needs to have something in place that prevents that. You should not have umpteen different channels using the same name after you've established it. Nobody else should be allowed to use that name. I'm not sorry for that statement. You know, if you use a weird variation, Mikey today, up up the stream tomorrow in the hood. I don't know. I'm just saying. That's one thing, but if it's literally just the name of my channel, that's frustrating. I'm scared to even look. I haven't looked. But I figured I'd owe an explanation. That's why I'm no longer the Goof. There was just too many variables, too many issues with that name. And that's why I am who I am now.